who's helping Mr. Owaisi, the BJP or the Congress?
If BJP has deployed somebody like me.
एक मस्जिद करीब था, there was a mosque close by, and you've been accused of targeting the mosque with that हवा में जो आपने तीर का निशाना बनाया. How do you respond? I know you've given a clarification, but for the purpose of this interview and our audience, I want to ask you about this controversy.
If you can go back to the same video,
I want to ask you, how did you look at this whole issue about Mangal Sutra, wealth lena? You don't like bringing religion into politics, but here we are, religion is in politics. How do you look at this issue?
the whole issue here is,
What has been the toughest thing for you being a woman in politics?
the biggest challenge is removing
The Prime Minister's praise for Madhavi Latha, the BJP candidate in Hyderabad, the woman taking on Asad Owaisi, catapulted her into national attention. In fact, for so many days now, the newspapers and the channels have been filled with one profile question. Who is Madhavi Latha? What is her story? And what made her decide to fight this toughest of seats in Telangana? Well, we have here with us our newsmaker today. It's very nice to meet you in person in the middle of your campaign, so I thank you for making the time. Before I get to the Prime Minister's praise after you appeared on Rajat Sharma's Aapki Adalat, what made you decide to enter this contest? Your background, NCC, political science, I learned before we started this interview that you're also kind of master chef. You know how to cook 150 to 200 dishes. And now here you are in the
I'm also a
Hollywood.
dancer.
You're also a Bharatanatyam dancer. Why politics and why this seat?
I would say that when you know that I'm any case MA political science postgraduate,
Yes.
so that somewhere means I would have had a light think of
Interest
love
in politics.
in politics.
Yes.
And I never seen politics different from human life, because when we studied political science in the graduation as well in post-graduation, the polity of Aristotle and Max Muller, many of such great philosophers, we've learned that it comes from the habitat and the human being living in a set as a group. We have never learned the kind of the definition that today market gives about politics. So we only knew that it's the development, civilization of human race in its own interest and betterment. That's people start getting interested in administration, in ruling each other. Yeah, we also know that there have been a lot of revolutions, in bringing up the human race to a next higher level of life and civilization for the best interest, in the best interest. It's definitely been a very interesting subject to me. Apart from that, I've been somebody who is a very social worker by my heart, by my soul. Wherever I've been, in whatever at school level or college level, and even after my marriage, I always had a very soft corner for the deprived sector of the community. So it could be women, it could be girl child, it could be SC community, it could be, poor community. Because I myself lived for 25 years in economic reconstruction house. So, the Aju-Baju, the houses that were with us were weaker section houses. Either you have somebody SC community. I am born and brought up with all those people who have seen the actual poverty in life. So I always had a very soft corner that, what is this? When the country is heading towards the 21st century, right from my childhood, when we talk about so much of technology, when we talk so much of international participation. But when it came to ground level reality, I always felt there was a gap, there was a void. For instance, and I still remember one incident which really touched me. When I was studying in Nizam College, because I come from other caste, other community, I do not have any stipend in respect of me coming from a very poor background. But that never hurt me, because I used to go, stretch myself, work hard, do small little other jobs on part-time, teach children. And somehow used to make my both ends meet, take help from my professors on books and all things. One fine day, I saw an SC boy. He was literally into tears. He was my junior. So I asked, what's the issue? He came and told me that, Didi, I was supposed to get the stipend, but another guy got it. I said, this is how it happens. Somebody has to get it. He said, no. He is the boy of a rich man who is also an SC. At the age of 17, now what would be the seed to a youngster for me? That who is being deprived? There's a stipend. There's an SC boy who is economically a weaker section. He is also an SC. There's another SC boy who is well off. The stipend goes to SC boy who is well off. These kind of incidences repeatedly started questioning me that there is justice prevailing in the society.
So, of course, caste and class are very much in the headlines today. The Prime Minister and the Congress Party are also debating it, and we'll come to that later. But to talk about yourself, you are taking on Mr. Owaisi in a seat where the demographics are seen to be tilted against you. Nearly 60% of the population is Muslim. This is a seat which has been traditionally held and won by the MIM, which has sometimes been called the B team of the BJP. Today, the Congress seems to be also fielding a weak candidate against Mr. Owaisi. How do you read it? Who's helping Mr. Owaisi, the BJP or the Congress?
If BJP has deployed somebody like me, I think we all need to have clarity that Owaisi cannot be the B team of BJP. At least to the extent I would understand. Because I am somebody who is not going to spare anybody. And I'm somebody who wouldn't think for a moment to bring out truth outside. And I have no selfish interest or motives. Now, there's one question for all of us to ask for our own self. Telangana government, where the Congress party had a fearful fight with Asaduddin AIMIM before election, as soon as they won, even in the assembly. I would say, what is the basis on which, when they had so much of differences with each other, they could come close enough in an understanding or a bond to the extent that they openly say that we support them, we are bhai, and they try to put literally a dummy candidate. What kind of politics this could be? Because I am so new to all these things. I started questioning my own self. Then, going further, Asaduddin Owaisi was supposed to deploy at 16 places with teams. Now his AIMIM deployed at only 3 places. Now what is this? Then who's beating? I am somebody who is learning all this so new in my own life. Along with this, the BRS also joins with these people. Now recently, yesterday, MBT also declared that we are not fighting. Age-old rivalry, both the teams have. MBT says now we are not into the fight. And
you just said that if you have been fielded, somebody with your profile has been fielded against Asad Owaisi, it means that he's not the B team of the BJP. I just heard before coming here a speech by the Chief Minister of Telangana, Mr. Revanth Reddy. He said, why has the BJP fielded a Hindu? I'm just quoting him. Why has the BJP fielded a Hindu if it's serious about fighting Owaisi? Why have they not fielded a Muslim? How do you respond to that?
I would say that I'm still surprised an educated man like Revanth Reddy ji talks about a candidate as Hindu or Muslim. I would say they have deployed a woman. A woman who can understand the pain and atrocities of poverty. Because even till date, if you go to a poor house, the father would still maybe in search of some kind of livelihood if he doesn't get anything in return back. But it is mother who will be more on tears. It is she who tries to beg nearby ados pados in the neighborhood to feed those babies. It's the mother who gives birth to children. It's for a mother, I believe there is no religion when she goes out seeing a baby crying to help. That's what I've done as a social worker. I'm somebody who worked with both the communities. I'm somebody who worked with the both religions. I'm somebody who worked with all castes and creed. Maybe a mother in me is seen, not her religion in me. Which is probably an educated man like a chief minister of the state I would expect to understand this.
You say that you as a woman, as a humanist, you do not discriminate or look at people through the lens of religion. Now, you are facing a case or a complaint because you have been accused कि आपने एक मस्जिद की तरफ तीर direct किया. Of course, I should clarify, there was no actual arrow. आप एक almost like एक dance move कर रही थी. But एक मस्जिद करीब था, there was a mosque close by, and you have been accused of targeting the mosque with that हवा में जो आपने तीर का निशाना बनाया. How do you respond? I know you've given a clarification, but for the purpose of this interview and our audience, I want to ask you about this controversy.
Barkha ji, you're very, very senior journalist. If you can go back to the same video and the way the mobile has been panned, it crosses a building, it crosses a lane, then it goes and settles at a mosque. And even the videos that I have shown in the public, anywhere in the frame, have any one of you seen a mosque? Today, the camera is the way how a person looks into it. Jab tak the way you are looking at something, within your eye frame, you don't get a mosque. Mosque can be at any distance. You can pan your eyes, you can pan a mobile. But now I would ask you one question. For a tir that never existed, I mean an arrow that never existed, and for the festival moment, and the tir was into the air, because as a human posture, if you just take a barn like this, you would only, the tir would go into the sky up there, even if you suppose. But nothing has been done to the mosque. No tir went, nothing happened to the mosque. But I would question, what about those tirs which have demolished the mosque? And there was no sound. There were 2 mosques which had been demolished in the construction of Hyderabad Secretariat, the new building. They properly demolished, uprooted them out. उन तीरों के बारे में क्या? What about those thieves? So people, these AIMIM people would not want to talk about the thieves that they have hit straight without losing the point of contact towards the masjid, and 2 masjids were demolished. And they would not want to make sound of this because they're in good friendship with the earth. But they would want to talk about the tir which never existed on a Sri Ram Navami occasion, which was on totally a different angle, a tir of Aman, a tir of prosperity, a tir of peace, as a festival moment, which was put, and they want to pan towards the mosque, and they want to talk. Now I would say one more thing. The same woman has also participated in Ramzan in Hazrat Ali's...
You have?
Yes. I've been there. I wore a black shawl. I've distributed food, and I've put a garland to the, the kind of deity they show there. I participated in that. There was nobody else there apart from me there, who have really, Asad Owaisi didn't come there. He didn't participate there. I was there for Hazrat Ali ji. I was there for Ram ji. There I put a garland. There I put a tir of peace. Where the tir didn't even exist. But what about those tirs? Unseen went and demolished their own mosques which were there in the Secretariat.
So when your critics from the other side try to classify you as anti-Muslim, you reject that?
Obviously. Now I would say only one thing. Aap masjid ke naam pe vote do. Is it not against the code of conduct of election? I never say that. Ram ke naam par vote do. I never said. You can check all my videos. I never say on the name of religion give vote. I say give vote on the name of truth and justice. Give the vote for the kind of yojanas that have been announced for you. Give the vote if you want to change your lifestyles and for the 40 years of downtroddenness that you have seen. He's openly talking about December 6th. He's openly talking about Babri Masjid. He openly talks about Masjid ke naam par vote do. And I'm surprised. There is no code of conduct. No election commission yet.
So whose B team do you think, Mr. Owaisi?
Absolutely for Congress.
Because?
Why didn't he even deploy 15 people? Why? To benefit whom? He says he is an international party where there is no national presence. He is not there in the entire state. He doesn't deploy in the entire state. For whom is he representing at national level? When he is not even representing at all the places in the country, which all Muslims is he representing, Barkha ji? आप बताइए मुझे.
Now, Madhavi ji, you have spent a lot of time talking about issues related to women like triple talaq, right? And that has been a very important, as a feminist, I must say, a very important reform, and I support it. But आजकल जो चर्चा चल रही है औरतों को लेकर, मंगल सूत्र की चर्चा चल रही है. प्रधानमंत्री ने अपने एक भाषण में बोला that the Congress wants to take your wealth and give it as a priority to Muslims. He quoted from an old Manmohan Singh speech. The Congress says कि आप झूठ बोल रहे हैं, आप पूरी स्पीच नहीं दिखा रहे. उसके बाद उन्होंने कहा कि वो मंगल सूत्र भी छीनना चाहते हैं औरतों का. Rahul Gandhi made the original speech that spoke about a financial survey here in Telangana. I want to ask you, how do you look at this whole issue about Mangal Sutra, wealth lena? You don't like bringing religion into politics, but here we are, religion is in politics. How do you look at this issue?
I would want to say only one thing, Barkha ji. When Pradhan Mantri ji has come up with the yojanas, unfortunately, it is only our Hyderabad Lok Sabha Parliament constituency where those yojanas were never let to get into the poor Pasmanda family.
Explain that.
For example, you have something called Savalamban Bharat. You have something called Mudra loans. You have street vendor loans. And you have Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. You have Pradhan Mantri Vishwakarma Yojana. None of these were ever allowed to get into the Muslim minority bastis. I have worked. They were all surprised. You don't know something like this even exists. The whole issue here is, when your Pradhan Mantri has declared some yojana in the best interest of the poor, is it not the responsibility of the elected representatives of here to ensure that they reach the poor? They form a barrier here. They form a firewall here. They constantly want to abuse the system. They constantly want to oppose the center. During the elections or whatever in the regular time, we can still oppose things which are genuinely not right towards your community. Ab instant triple talaq hai. Why did he oppose? Tell me, why did he oppose? I don't find a reason as a woman. Because here I have seen, in fact, through my charitable trust, I help a lot of, poor women to get married. We give them some kind of, cot, almera, whatever I can do. 14 years, 16 years, 17 years girls' marriages do come to me. Neither I can lodge a complaint, because the moment I lodge a complaint, this family is going to suffer. They start suffering. There are so many truths here that at times you cannot even come out of saying this is the truth. Second thing is, when I object themselves at the age of 21 only I can get this marriage done. And there are families, then I said, you're 21, I'll help you. And there are families who got married, who got divorced instantly because they found somebody else. And because of multiple marriage system, the girls here get married at 17 or 18 years. And then immediately they have husband within 1 year living with somebody else, again marrying them. All these kind of stuff because of instant triple talaq. If I, as a woman, as a social worker, can understand this, don't you think the man from the same religion should have sympathy for those women? Tell me once when he appreciated one good move of Pradhan Mantri. But for provoking people, even now, whenever you hear us campaigning, there is no manifesto. Have you ever seen a party who wants to call itself as a national presence without a manifesto?
What is your message that you're taking to voters?
I take to the voters because this particular constituency is little different from other constituencies because it's always been on fire because of the religion and the way, the communal rights have been brought up. The first thing I take to them is peace. Sabka saath, sabka vikas. I say at least let us stop talking religion. Because religion is a very personal thing to me. You spend the way you want your religion.
What does religion mean to you?
Religion for me is, my belief. Religion for me is, my happiness, my festival. Religion for me is my philosophy of what I should be as a right and a wrong person. Religion also gives me a personality. It gives me a kind of, a wisdom towards somebody else. No religion, according to me, should ever be telling you to hurt somebody or to trouble somebody, to disown somebody's rights.
Yeah.
That is only what I have learned. That's the reason I help both the communities equally. Even when I've declared 1008 free normal deliveries, my first delivery went on for a Muslim lady only. And in fact, 75% of...
You're talking about the hospitals that you...
No, I have a charitable trust. I have two charitable trusts.
Because your family also manages a chain of hospitals.
That is the reason, I could dare to come out and say that I'll do something. Koi bahar wala, why would they help me for my free deliveries? Nobody will come for it. My husband has been very good enough there. He said, it's such a fantastic idea. Please, you can utilize the hospital to the extent you want for your services. Then afterwards, we also help a lot of cancer people also. We help different gynec surgeries also we have got done. Even now, there will be a number of people will be taking my name and going to the hospital. And I also talk about the development when it comes to neighborhood parity, right to neighborhood parity. This is one type of Lok Sabha Parliament, Barkha, where you see a just 30 feet or 40 feet road decide what should be the price of your land there. If it is around X value in our place, it will be 8X the moment you cross this constituency, go to other constituency. Is this the development? I'm surprised. There are no malls here. There are no good theatres here. There are no food streets here. There are no great restaurants here. We don't have one 5-star hotel. We need 5-star. We don't have one 4-star hotel here. We don't have a manufacturing unit here. We don't have one IT company here. You don't have one university here. You don't have anything for which you should call yours. There is no sports gallery here. Tell me one thing, Barkha, that this constituency should say. That I am proud to be in this place.
If you don't win, of course I will wish good luck to every candidate and good luck to you. But suppose hypothetically, jeet aapki nahi hoti. Will you continue to work in this constituency?
Every vote that comes towards me is a commitment. It's like किसी का नमक खाते हैं
जी.
You eat somebody's salt. You say that I owe my life to you because मैंने आपका घर का नमक खाया है. Every vote is like that namak for me. जिसने वोट डाला है ना, I'm answerable to them, Barkha. The story begins.
You made the allegation of fake votes in this area.
Yes.
Mr. Owaisi responded by saying, I'm not the election commission. I don't prepare the rolls. How do you respond to that?
He is not the election commission. And the election commission also doesn't make votes, doesn't prepare votes, Barkha.
The rolls?
No. I'll tell you how it happened. Because I also do groundwork. हम असदुद्दीन साहब के जैसे नहीं है जो महलों में बैठते हैं. हम जाके हम भी वोटर इलेक्टोरल अपलोड करते हैं हम लोग. It is that every party has booth level presidents. You call booth president, that is polling booth president. There is a hierarchy. For example, in BJP, you have a booth level president. Above them, you have a Shakti Kendra president. Above them, you have Panna Pramukh. The responsibility of all these people are, because typically in this particular constituency has been since ages divided into Hindu-Muslim problem. It happens this way that, like AIMIM goes to door with their karyakartas and BJP goes to door with their karyakartas, taking their photo, they write all the details and they upload because most of them are uneducated here and they are poor and middle class families and they do not find time to go to the nearest e-seva, whatever, and upload and get an electoral. So party people do that. Now you tell me, an uneducated, a 4th or 5th class mechanic boy, would he be able to make 2 voter IDs for himself? Not 1, not 2. Like that, you mean to say that there will be 6 lakh votes. People will go make 2 votes, out of which you have 95% of only Muslims.
Now, for so many decades, his family, Mr. Owaisi's family, has been controlling this area. 6 of the assembly seats have gone to the MIM. If there is actually voter manipulation, which is what you're alleging, it's a very serious charge, why has this never come up before?
See, what happens is that, Barkha, lot of our BJP workers have lodged complaints. Not once, not twice, not thrice. Especially in the last 2023 elections, I also had a very major role participating because we all have gone down onto the field to help them. Then I really realized every truth that was popping up. Previously, we had very few little information with us. But in 2023, it's been an eye-opener for me. That is the reason why I've become much more stronger to advocate the truth which is not being sent across to people. It's astonishing, I would say you. I'll also give you the booth number eventually. The Karyakartas have left for the day. At the 5, they were supposed to close and leave. Somebody came back and gave information. A Karyakarta ran back, BJP Karyakarta. The police was standing outside. The gates were locked. The doors were locked. The booth doors were locked. Then the Karyakarta requested, there are people inside, please open this. The police would not even listen to him. He says, no, they are not opening this. And he requested repeatedly. He stayed there from 5 till 7 in the night. He stood near the gate. At 7 o'clock, the booth doors open and AIMIM workers come out. The gates are opened and one of the boy also plays cricket with this boy, the BJP Karyakarta. That fellow says, अरे तो क्यों रे इतना जिम्मेदारी ले रहा, क्यों फड़फड़ा रहा रे, कल तो फिर से दोनों को क्रिकेट ग्राउंड में देखना पड़ता है, एक सूरत एक को, तेरे को मालूम है ना, वैसे भी AIMI जीतती, चल फुटो यहाँ से. There is nobody to listen to these. The reason being, the same Congress, the same BRS, the same here the state government are with them.
What are the prospects for the BJP overall in Telangana? There's been a lot of talk about the Prime Minister's mission south. The BJP won more seats than the Congress in the last Lok Sabha. One more seat than the Congress. But now the situation is very different after the assembly. The BRS seems out of the picture. It seems a direct fight between the Congress and the BJP, with the MIM being on the margins. How do the prospects for the BJP look?
I would say that the way Congress has moved on with the kind of promises not fulfilling that it has given, and it has also not given anything for the Dalits also in its manifesto this time. And whatever promises it has shown during the assembly elections to the people of Telangana, it has not even come up fulfilling even 1/4 of it. At the same time, they are supporting AIMIM, which has been very rude and very bad towards it, not only the constituency people, irrespective of Hindu and Muslim, but they also been very, I would say that very bad towards their behavior with the other communities, other sects, with the entire Telangana also. For example, the recent act that has happened in Chengicherla also, a very brutal act, and a woman has been filed attempt to murder case where she has been hit with stones, 8 women, the slit in the head, and sutures. I went and saw. In fact, I asked for the FIR. They have petty cases, and a woman has even still now she's in the jail. These are the kind of a thing Congress, by supporting AIMIM, I'm sure it's lost its faith among the people. Now it's going to be a tough fight. A tough fight, as you said, really right, between BJP and Congress. But the way Congress is behaving, for example, I would say that they have declared free tickets for women in the bus. Each one of us would think, Abhi, women got a free, like transportation. Yeah. She can get in, get down anywhere. During my campaign, I went to a Muslim Pasmanda house. That lady came out, and for a couple of minutes she was like yelling. Then I put a car, made her calm down, and I asked, what's the problem? See, Amma, these people, they've given free bus tickets for women. My husband last 3 months is an auto driver. We bought it on finance. And 3 months they are not able to pay. As of now, today, I don't have ration in house to eat. I went to talk to this AIMIM office. They threw me out of the office. I went to collector office. They threw me out of collector office. They have not given even a pakka house to us. Now where do we have to go? My husband almost came for attempting for a suicide. But we all stopped him because the children in the family, and imagine, Amma, this is my plight. I'm so surprised. Would you really think, Barkha ji, that a ticket would have made any difference to a woman? They could have, in fact, penalized corporate offices. Aapke yahan, how many women are going? You contribute 50% of their ticket money. we will contribute another 50%. Maybe, the women can put a 25%, government can put 25%. Corporate offices where this working women would go, you should have asked the corporate officers, okay, you give it. I'm sure no corporate office will go behind for 500 rupees or 600 rupees. But end of the day, the kind of strategies that they go with, auto drivers, imagine what is their life, that to bring on finances, or bring on rent. Like that, I've seen so many people crying and chilling down their tears.
How would you describe your state of mind as you approach this election?
I would want to, irrespective of whatever is this election, irrespective of whatever the post or a dignity I would get going forward, I have taken a oath to stand up for this Lok Sabha Parliament. Dare not any girl child, woman, or a poor, or a Dalit here suffers. Till I breathe, I'm going to stand up.
You appeared on my friend and colleague Rajat Sharma's show, and it got a lot of attention, including from the Prime Minister. What was that moment like for you as a political novice? But suddenly everybody was debating you, who you are, your quoting from the scriptures, your confidence. Suddenly you went from being a new entrant into politics to suddenly someone everyone was talking about because the Prime Minister had noticed you. What did that experience feel like?
People think I'm political novice, but for me, I'm from the Aam Janta who has seen the atrocities of politics on the common man.
Do you see yourself from the Aam Janta?
Yes.
Because today you come from privilege. Your affidavit, has releases your assets. You manage your family, manages a very sort of big chain of hospitals here. So today you come from privilege.
I'm still an Aam Janta because.
Why do you say that?
Because 25 years of my life I've been Aam Janta. My father and mother are still an Aam Janta. Even till today, my father gets a pension of 15,000 rupees. That's it. My mother still manages in the same money. I'm Aam Janta. Even आज मैं उनके घर जाती हूँ, so they give me only a 500 or 1,000 rupees sari. Wear it. How am I different from Aam Janta? 25 years of your life. How can you just forget? Today also I sit with, whenever I've got my hospital constructed, I sit with all my laborers. I eat along with them. Even though I do jhadu, pocha, wherever I go. Even in the temples, if I go, I do on the road, I go by. In fact, people who are around with me, they beg me, Amma, please don't get into all these things. Aap kare to humko karna padta. And if you do it, I'm a laborer. I'm a proper laborer, I'm telling you. I am nobody from any, high family or anything because I'm such that Aam Janta.
So today, what does wealth mean for you? Today, you would be considered amongst Hyderabad's wealthier families. A business family, a hospital management, a hospital chain family. What does wealth mean to you today?
For me, probably the biggest wealth should be peace, happiness, prosperity of everybody. Imagine right now here I'm eating. People around me are starving. I don't know, how am I great? What should keep me happy? My husband just tells you, the day every poor kid eats a gulab jamun, that day I think I'll feel happy. Then we all started questioning, why gulab jamun?
Yeah, why gulab jamun?
Then he said, once the stomach fills, that's when you afford a gulab jamun.
Yeah. I have to end with this question about women in public life, in politics. It's very tough. It doesn't matter which party you're in. This I say to all women I interview because as a woman, I want to see more women in politics, whichever party. What has been the toughest thing for you being a woman in politics?
You can look at the same Asad Owaisi itself, who talks about, देखो वो तीर मस्जिद पे जा रहा है. It is a barrister, a lawyer by his subject, should have had that much of thought process that really did she hit onto the masjid or not. They would not want, and I've never said anything that has not occurred or not have uttered by him. I would rather expect.
You said he's linked to people from the ISIS. You made this comment.
I said that this has come to publish. It's been properly published.
He met with Mukhtar Ansari, who's a family, who's a gangster based out of UP.
I have nothing.
I don't know about ISIS, but a gangster for sure.
Even ISIS also, it's been which has been published in papers very clearly, and has been given a warning also on that. I said that.
So you stand by that allegation?
Yeah. What I'm saying is, you have a heart. to extend the legal support to an terrorist should have left at least for a time whether this government of India is coming forward to give, not give. Rather, as a public representative, where people have voted you, terrorists didn't vote you. We know what justice is. People do know what justice is. People know that under the law of land, you are supposed to give legal help, legal aid, even if he's a terrorist. But you have not been elected by terrorists. You've been elected by your people. Now, you need to know that those bomb blasts have taken away common man's life, out of which people would have been your own voters. I would rather question him that, where did you go when these girls also under instant triple talaq have been deserted? तब ये legal aid कहाँ चले गया? ये कहाँ इतना बड़ा दिल कहाँ चले गया? You are such a great, masiha that you would want to call. We never hear about him saying that, we've given legal aid to this Muslim family, we've given legal aid to for this girl, we've given legal aid to the girl who has been tortured and raped, legal girl who has been multiple abused by people. We never hear him giving legal aid to them, urging for a legal aid. But out of entire box, you say that, I would want to give a legal aid to one ISIS person. Then the question raises. That is what I ask you. You go to all the way to the extent also saying that you want to oppose 33-point reservation. Then again he will come saying that, no, did he give to Muslims? Did you give to Muslim ladies? Did you set up an example?
So let's end with what the toughest thing for you has been. To be a new entrant, a woman in politics, the biggest challenge.
The biggest challenge is removing the hatred on communal subjects in the constituency. He never wants people to heal and come out. He wants continuously the wound. He would want to constantly keep it up raw. The communal wound, I would say, he wants to keep it raw. He doesn't want it to heal. And this
But the BJP is also accused of playing polarizing politics, of being anti-Muslim. Do you feel the weight of that perception when you campaign?
I would say one thing. The weight of that is only because of this constantly being, raised by Asaduddin in a very wrong way. For instance, this instant triple talaq. Where has BJP ever showed up that it is like, Hindutva? There are no talaqs in Hinduism, right? For whom is he fighting for as a prime minister? Uniform civil code. All other, Christian, Hindu, Sikh, all those girls are like babies, and the way they take it, it's only for in the Muslim families, middle class, lower middle class, the girls have to face a lot of atrocities. They are not equal to men there. Whatever we are trying to bring in to equalize, give rights to women, why does he pick it up from a religious perspective? Why is women always looked upon by him like that, in that perspective? आप पहले कुछ करके तो दिखाओ. When Prime Minister is doing something, you continuously taunt on what? Religion name. I would say Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. Cylinder goes to every house. Now tell me which cylinder goes to which house? How does anybody? लिख के थोड़ी जाता है. And the whole BJP flag has a combination of orange and green. यार इतना नफरत होती, then we will only have Bhagwa color, right? It's not that. People should move on further to think different.
Okay, let's end by saying one word you'd use to describe yourself.
Mother.
Thank you so much, Madhavi ji, and all the best to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure meeting
you. All the best. Namaskar and hello everyone. Welcome to a ride through the heart and the soul of India. क्योंकि जब इलेक्शन सीजन आता है तो कौन जीता, कौन हारा, कौन आगे, कौन पीछे, ये बातचीत तो होती ही रहती है. But it's also a time for travel and meeting people and getting to know your own country better. So, welcome to the Dhabas of Democracy, where every bite tells a story, where every conversation will spice up your day. Experience the masala, the flavor, the swad of this election with us as we take a unique road trip from the south to the north of India, traveling thousands of kilometers to bring you the flavor of this election.